Your cloud backup was supposed to save you. Storm-1175 already knows that. This threat group does not start by encrypting your files. They start by destroying your backups. Every cloud snapshot, every off-site archive, gone before you ever see a ransom note. Microsoft has confirmed this is happening right now, and it is accelerating. To understand why this matters, we have to go back to how ransomware works. Ransomware is malicious software. It encrypts your files and demands payment to unlock them. For years, the standard defense was simple: keep clean backups. If attackers hit you, you wipe the infected systems and restore. Problem solved. That playbook worked until ransomware groups started evolving their approach. Around 2020, a pattern began emerging across high-profile attacks. Attackers were spending time inside victim networks before triggering encryption. They were mapping infrastructure, identifying backup systems, deleting them, then they encrypted the data. Without backups, victims faced a brutal choice: pay the ransom or lose everything permanently. Security researchers call this the double extortion model: lock the data and eliminate the recovery path at the same time. As organizations adapted, many moved backup infrastructure to the cloud. Cloud backups felt safe, physically remote, logically separate, out of reach. That assumption became the new vulnerability. A group called Storm-1175 has specifically built their attack methodology around breaking it. On April 7, 2026, Dark Reading published findings from Microsoft's Threat Intelligence Division. That division is known as MSTIC, the Microsoft Threat Intelligence Center. Their subject, a financially motivated threat cluster tracked internally as Storm-1175. Financially motivated means exactly what it sounds like. This group attacks for money. Their weapon of choice is a ransomware strain called Medusa. Medusa is not a new name. It has been documented by researchers since at least 2021. But in March 2025, the threat became serious enough for a government response. CISA, the U.S. Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, issued a joint advisory. Co-authors were the FBI and MSTIC, the Multi-State Information Sharing and Analysis Center. MSTIC supports cybersecurity for state and local governments across the United States. That advisory, titled Stop Ransomware, Medusa Ransomware, documented the confirmed damage. As of February 2025, Medusa had claimed more than 300 confirmed victims, according to CISA. Targeted sectors included healthcare, education, legal services, insurance, technology, and manufacturing. These are not soft targets. These are critical systems that communities depend on. Now, Microsoft's new report documents a significant escalation in how Medusa is being deployed. Storm-1175 is operating at what Microsoft describes as high velocity. That phrase, high velocity, has a specific meaning in threat intelligence. It means the time between initial intrusion and full attack completion is shrinking dramatically. Here is how Storm-1175 does it. They enter victim networks by exploiting software vulnerabilities. Two categories. The first, zero-day vulnerabilities. A zero-day is a software flaw that has never been publicly disclosed. No patch exists yet. Vendors don't know. Defenders can't patch what hasn't been announced. The second, end-day vulnerabilities. An end-day is a flaw that has been disclosed and patched, but the victim organization hasn't applied the update. Both represent unlocked doors. Storm-1175 uses whichever one is available. Once inside, the attack enters what security researchers call the pre-encryption phase. This is where Storm-1175 separates itself from less sophisticated ransomware operators. They do not immediately encrypt anything. First, they move quietly. They map the network. They identify every backup system they can find. On-premises backups, servers physically located inside the organization's own facilities, and cloud-hosted backups, repositories stored remotely on third-party platforms. A cloud snapshot is a specific type of backup, an automated point-in-time copy of your data, stored in a cloud environment. Many IT teams treat cloud snapshots as untouchable. Off-site, remote out of an attacker's reach. Storm-1175 reaches them anyway. Before a single file is encrypted, the group systematically destroys every backup they have located. Cloud snapshots, off-site archives, on-premises backup servers, all of it, Only after that destruction phase is complete does the encryption payload deploy. The ransom note appears. The victim reaches for their backups. There is nothing left. This is not an accident. It is the intended design of the attack. Microsoft describes Storm-1175 as compressing the traditional attack timeline. Conventional incident response assumes a detection window. Security teams expect time days, sometimes longer, to spot an intruder before encryption begins. Storm-1175 is closing that window deliberately and systematically. Dark Reading's coverage of the Microsoft report also references Medusa's broader financial impact. The reporting cites Medusa among the top 10 most destructive ransomware variants of 2025. It also references losses linked to Medusa operations exceeding $32 million. A sourcing note here. The hack ledger is attributing those specific figures to Dark Reading's coverage of the Microsoft analysis. We were unable to independently retrieve the primary MSTIC source document before publication. The CISA FBI advisory and Microsoft's analysis remain the confirmed authoritative records for this campaign. All other facts in this video come from those primary documents. What is not in question? Medusa is an active, documented threat. Storm-1175 is accelerating it, and cloud backups are now a named target in their playbook. Who is at risk from this campaign? The short answer: any organization that treats cloud backups as its primary ransomware defense. That is a large portion of the modern enterprise landscape. Over the past 5 years, cloud-first backup strategies became the industry standard. Healthcare networks, school districts, law firms, local governments all moved to cloud snapshots. The logic was sound. Keep backups offsite. Keep them out of reach. Storm-1175 has specifically targeted that logic. The sectors hit hardest are already documented in the CISA FBI advisory: healthcare, education, and legal services. In healthcare, a ransomware attack without a recovery path is not just an IT problem. It delays patient care. It disrupts access to medication records and lab results. In education, student records, financial aid systems, and administration can all be locked simultaneously. For local government agencies, emergency services and public records can go offline. For small and mid-sized businesses, the impact can be permanent. Losing operational data with no backup path and no resources to pay a large ransom is, for many organizations, a terminal event. The acceleration factor compounds all of this. When attackers move slowly, detection is possible. Security teams have time to act. When attackers compress the timeline, as Microsoft says Storm-1175 is doing, that margin disappears. By the time automated alerts fire or an analyst notices anomalous traffic, the backup deletion may already be complete. The ransom note may already be on the screen. This is not a hypothetical risk. CISA documented more than 300 confirmed Medusa victims before this escalation was even reported. Here is what the security community recommends, based directly on how Storm-1175 operates. 1. Enable immutable backups. An immutable backup cannot be altered or deleted, even by an admin account. Most major cloud providers offer this feature. It must be configured explicitly. It is not on by default. 2. Isolate your backup environment. Backup systems must not be reachable from production networks. If attackers own your main environment, they must not automatically own your backups. 3. Patch immediately. Storm-1175 exploits both 0 days and known, patchable end-day vulnerabilities. Unpatched systems are open doors. Treat pending security updates as urgent, not optional. 4. Alert on backup deletion events. Any bulk deletion or modification of snapshot repositories should trigger an immediate alert. Legitimate backup operations are scheduled and documented. Unscheduled mass deletion is a red flag. 5. Test your incident response plan now. Know who you call. Know which systems get isolated first. A plan you have never rehearsed is a plan that will fail when it matters most. Storm-1175 has built a faster, more ruthless version of a tactic the industry was already struggling to counter. They find the backups, they destroy them, then they encrypt everything else. The defense is not complicated, but it requires decisions made before the attack, not during it. Every source cited in this video is linked in the description below. If this breakdown was useful, subscribe to the Hack Ledger. We cover threats like this as they develop. Stay informed, stay protected.